Most people believe that the hardest thing to manage is their money. Or they believe it is their time. Or they believe it is their employees, or their children, or their difficult boss. They spend their entire lives trying to control the external world. They rearrange the furniture of their lives hoping it will bring them peace. They switch jobs hoping for a better culture. They switch partners hoping for a better relationship. They chase more income hoping for more security. They are obsessed with managing the result. But they ignore the cause. There is a myth that says success comes from mastering the world around you. From mastering the market. From mastering the algorithm. From mastering the politics of your industry. But this is false. It is the great distraction. Success does not come from managing the world. Success comes from managing the mind that perceives the world. Here is the truth you must accept if you want to change your life. Manage your mind, and your mind will manage everything else. If your mind is in order, your money will find order. If your mind is disciplined, your time will be disciplined. If your mind is at peace, your relationships will find peace. But if you leave your mind ungoverned, if you let it run wild like an unkept garden, then no amount of money, no amount of time, and no amount of opportunity will save you. You will sabotage the money. You will waste the time. You will ruin the opportunity. Because you cannot build a sturdy house on a broken foundation. And the foundation of your entire existence is not your bank account. It is your mind. So today, we are going to talk about the most important management role you will ever have. Not the CEO of a company, but the CEO of your own thoughts. We are going to look at why this is the invisible work behind all greatness. We are going to look at how to prepare your mind before the pressure comes. And we are going to walk through a specific path to mastery. Because once you master this, the rest of life stops being a struggle and starts being a strategy. Let us begin with the invisible work. Most people look at a successful life and they see the fruit. They see the visible results. But they miss the invisible system that created it. Think of a massive computer network. You look at the screen and you see beautiful images. You see videos playing smoothly. You see calculations happening instantly. It looks like magic. But what is making it work? It is the operating system running in the background. It is lines of code that you never see. If that code has a bug, the screen goes black. If that operating system is corrupted, the beautiful images disappear. It does not matter how expensive the screen is. It does not matter how fast the internet connection is. If the operating system is broken, the computer is useless. Your mind is the operating system of your life. Your actions, your habits, your words, your results, these are just the images on the screen. Most people try to fix their lives by cleaning the screen. They try to change their behavior without changing their programming. They try to force themselves to work harder, but their mind is programmed for procrastination. They try to force themselves to save money, but their mind is programmed for scarcity and fear. They try to be kind, but their mind is programmed for defensiveness. You cannot fix a software problem with a hardware solution. You have to go into the code. You have to do the invisible work of rewriting the program. This is why willpower often fails. Willpower is trying to override the system manually. It takes too much energy. Eventually, you get tired. And when you get tired, the default operating system takes over again. Managing your mind means changing the default. It means rewriting the code so that success becomes automatic, not a struggle. It means reprogramming your beliefs so that discipline becomes natural, not painful. It is quiet work. No one sees you doing it. They see you reading. They see you sitting in silence. They see you pausing before you react. They do not know you are in the control room, updating the software. But they will see the difference in your life. They will see a person who is not easily shaken. A person who creates value effortlessly. A person who commands respect without shouting. They will wonder how you do it. You will know. You manage the mind, and the mind managed the rest. Now, you must understand a critical law. The law of preparation and opportunity. We often hear that luck is when preparation meets opportunity. But in the realm of the mind, it is deeper than that. Opportunity is heavy. Success is heavy. Responsibility is heavy. If your mind is not prepared to carry the weight, the opportunity will crush you. Think of a bridge. Before you drive a heavy truck over it, the bridge must be built to sustain the load. You cannot drive the truck onto the bridge and then start reinforcing the steel. It is too late. The bridge will collapse. Many people pray for big opportunities. Give me the big contract. Give me the promotion. Give me the wealth. But their mind is weak. Their mind is full of doubt, fear, and chaotic thinking. If they got the big contract, they would panic. If they got the wealth, they would lose it in foolishness. You must prepare your mind before the opportunity arrives. You must build the mental structure that can hold success. How do you do this? You treat your mind like a muscle that must be trained for load bearing. You practice decision-making on small things so you can handle big things. You practice emotional control in traffic so you can handle it in the boardroom. You practice integrity with small dollars so you can handle millions. This is the law. The size of your life will never exceed the size of your mind. If you want a bigger life, you need a bigger mind. Not a smarter mind. A stronger mind. A managed mind. Now, let's look at what happens when the weight falls. Because life is not just opportunity. Life is also pressure. And pressure reveals patterns. You can pretend to have a managed mind when things are easy. When the bills are paid and the sun is shining, everyone looks calm. But when the storm hits, the mask falls off. Pressure does not create your character. Pressure exposes your character. It reveals the code that is actually running in your operating system. Let me give you 2 examples. 2 men. Same industry. Same town. Same crisis. Let's call the first man Robert. Robert is talented. He is hardworking. But he never managed his mind. He let his thoughts run wild. He worried constantly. He took everything personally. He believed that he was a victim of the economy. The crisis hits. The market shifts overnight. Clients stop calling. Revenue drops 40%. The pressure lands on Robert's mind. Because he has no management system, his mind goes into chaos. Panic takes the wheel. His mind tells him, it's over. You're going to lose everything. It's not fair. They are out to get you. He believes these thoughts. He reacts. He fires people in anger. He makes desperate, short-term decisions that hurt his brand. He goes home and drinks to numb the noise in his head. He stops looking for solutions and starts looking for people to blame. 6 months later, Robert is out of business. He says, the market destroyed me. But the market did not destroy him. His ungoverned mind destroyed him. The pressure just revealed that his bridge had no steel. Now let's look at the second man. Let's call him James. James is not smarter than Robert. But James has spent 10 years managing his mind. He reads. He reflects. He practices stoicism. He guards his thoughts. He has trained himself to separate facts from feelings. The same crisis hits. Revenue drops 40%. The pressure lands. James feels the fear. He is human. But he does not let the fear drive the car. He notices the panic rising and he says, I see you, fear. But you are not in charge. He goes to his office. He closes the door. He sits in silence. He manages his mind. He asks, what is the truth of this situation? What is the opportunity here? His mind, because it is trained, starts looking for answers instead of excuses. It says, the old way is dead. But this new market needs a new service. He calls his team. He is calm. He gives them a vision, not a complaint. He pivots the business. He cuts costs with surgical precision, not emotional reaction. 6 months later, James is not only surviving, he is growing. He gained the market share that Robert lost. What was the difference? Not the event. The event was the same. The difference was the management of the mind. Robert's mind managed him. James managed his mind. Ask yourself right now. When pressure hits you, a bill you didn't expect, a conflict at home, a mistake at work, what is your pattern? Do you spiral? Do you blame? Do you collapse? Or do you pause, assess, and direct? Your pattern under pressure tells you exactly how well you are managing your mind. And if you don't like the pattern, you can change it. But you must be willing to do the work. This brings us to the currency of your mind. Focus. In the economy of the mind, focus is gold. Distraction is theft. If you cannot control where your attention goes, you cannot control your life. Managing your mind is largely about managing your focus. We live in a world designed to steal your gold. Every app on your phone is designed by thousands of engineers to hijack your attention. The news is designed to hijack your amygdala, your fear center. Social media is designed to hijack your ego, your comparison center. If you do not protect your focus, you will be robbed blind every day. And a mind that is constantly distracted is a mind that is weak. It cannot think deeply. It cannot solve hard problems. It cannot create value. You must protect your focus like a fortress. You must have walls. You must have guards. This means you decide what enters your mind. You do not let the algorithm decide. You do not let the notification decide. You do not let the loud person at the office decide. You decide. Ask yourself, is this thought serving me? Is this information useful? Is this worry solving the problem? If the answer is no, you must have the discipline to evict the thought. Kick it out. Change the channel. This is mental management. It is the ability to point the camera of your mind at what you want to see, and ignore the rest. When you focus on problems, you get more problems. When you focus on possibilities, you get more possibilities. Your life moves in the direction of your dominant thoughts. So, if you want a new life, you need a new focus. Now, how do we build this? How do we go from a chaotic mind to a managed mind? It is not a mystery. It is a sequence. The growth sequence. Learn. Apply. Evaluate. Correct. Persist. First, you learn. You must learn how the mind works. You must understand that you are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. This is a massive shift. Most people think, I am angry. No. You are experiencing anger. You are the sky, the anger is the cloud. The cloud is not the sky. You must learn this distinction. Second, you apply. You practice it in real time. Tomorrow, when someone cuts you off in traffic, you feel the anger rise. Instead of becoming the anger, you observe it. You say, there is irritation. Interesting. You do not honk. You do not scream. You breathe. You have just applied mental management. Third, you evaluate. At the end of the day, you look back. How did I do today? Did I lose my temper? Did I spend an hour worrying about things I cannot control? Did I let social media steal my focus? Be honest. Do not judge yourself. Just look at the data. Fourth, you correct. You make a plan for tomorrow. Tomorrow, I will leave my phone in the other room for the first hour of the day. Tomorrow, when I feel anxious, I will write down the problem instead of just thinking about it. You adjust the strategy. Fifth, you persist. You do it again. And again. And again. You will fail often. That is okay. Managing the mind is the hardest work you will ever do. It is harder than physical labor. That is why so few people do it. That is why so few people are truly free. But if you persist, you will get stronger. The gap between the stimulus and your response will get wider. And in that gap lies your freedom. Now, let's talk about the fuel for this journey. Discipline over motivation. This is where most people quit. They wait to feel like managing their mind. They wait for inspiration. They go to a seminar, they get pumped up, and for 3 days they are positive. Then Monday comes. The feeling leaves. And they go back to their old mental habits. You cannot rely on motivation. Motivation is a feeling. Feelings are fickle. They are like the weather. You cannot build a house on the weather. You must rely on discipline. Discipline is a system. Systems beat moods. You need a system for your mind. What is your morning routine? Does it prime your mind for success, or does it prime it for reaction? Do you read something wise before you read the news? Do you sit in silence before you rush into the noise? You need a system for your inputs. What books are you reading? What podcasts are you listening to? You become what you consume. If you eat garbage, your body gets sick. If you watch garbage, your mind gets sick. Discipline is choosing the salad when you want the donut. Mental discipline is choosing the book when you want the reality TV. Mental discipline is choosing gratitude when you want to complain. You do not have to feel like it. You just have to do it. If you wait until you feel positive to think positive, you will never change. You must act your way into a new way of feeling. You must manage your mind even when you are tired. Especially when you are tired. Because a managed mind manages the mood. An unmanaged mind is a slave to the mood. But be warned. This takes time. You need strategic patience. We live in a microwave society. We want instant results. We want to meditate once and become Buddha. We want to read one book and become a millionaire. But the mind is like a garden. You cannot plant a seed today and eat the fruit tomorrow. There are seasons. There is a season of planting. This is when you are putting new ideas into your mind. It feels like nothing is happening. You are reading, you are trying to change your thoughts, but your life looks the same. Do not quit. The seed is breaking open underground. There is a season of weeding. This is painful. You have to pull out the old beliefs. I'm not good enough. Money is evil. Success is for other people. These weeds have deep roots. You pull them, and they grow back. You have to pull them again. It is hard work. But it is necessary. There is a season of growing. You start to see small changes. You handle a conflict better. You feel a little more peace. You solve a problem faster. The plant is breaking the surface. And finally, there is a season of harvest. This is when your new mind creates a new life. The results show up in your bank account. In your career. In your happiness. But you must respect the time. If you dig up the seed every day to see if it is growing, you will kill it. Trust the process. Keep managing the soil. The harvest is inevitable if the work is consistent. Now, you need feedback and refinement. You need a mirror. It is hard to see your own face without a mirror. It is hard to see your own mind without a mirror. What are the mirrors for the mind? Journaling is a mirror. When you write down your thoughts, you can see them. You can look at the paper and say, is that really true? Do I really believe that? When it is in your head, it feels like fact. When it is on paper, it looks like a choice. Honest friends are a mirror. A mentor is a mirror. They can tell you, I hear a lot of scarcity in your language today. I see you reacting defensively. Listen to them. Do not break the mirror because you don't like the reflection. Use the reflection to clean your face. Measurement is key. You cannot manage what you do not measure. Take inventory of your mental state. Are you more anxious or less anxious than a year ago? Are you more focused or less focused? Are you more optimistic or less optimistic? If the trend is going down, you need to correct. You need to tighten your discipline. You need to guard your inputs more strictly. As you do this work, something magical happens. Momentum. The flywheel effect. At first, managing your mind is exhausting. It takes all your effort to stop one negative thought. It feels like pushing a heavy stone uphill. But you keep pushing. You keep practicing. You keep feeding your mind truth. Slowly, the stone gets lighter. The new neural pathways in your brain begin to form. Positive thinking becomes easier. Discipline becomes habitual. Focus becomes automatic. One day, you realize you haven't worried about money in a month. One day, you realize you handled a crisis without raising your pulse. One day, you realize you are happy for no reason at all. The flywheel is spinning. Your mind is now working for you, not against you. It is generating energy instead of draining it. And this leads to the ultimate goal. Breakthrough as a lifestyle. Most people think of breakthrough as a one-time event. I had a breakthrough. And then they go back to sleep. But when you manage your mind, breakthrough becomes your normal state. Because you are constantly removing the barriers to your own potential. You are constantly upgrading your operating system. You stop hitting the same glass ceilings. You stop sabotaging your own success. You stop accepting less than you deserve. You begin to live in a state of emotional elevation. This does not mean you are manic or always excited. It means you live above the fog. Imagine a plane taking off on a cloudy day. On the ground, it is gray and raining. The plane climbs. It shakes as it goes through the clouds. That is the struggle of discipline. But then, it breaks through the top layer. And suddenly, the sun is shining. The sky is blue. It is calm. The clouds are still there. The rain is still falling below. But the plane is above it. When you manage your mind, you live above the clouds. The problems of life are still there. The challenges are still there. But you are not in them. You are above them. You have perspective. You have clarity. You have peace. And from that altitude, you can fly anywhere. Now, I want to take a moment to talk about the specific voices in your head. Because the mind is not just one voice. It is a committee. There is the critic. There is the victim. There is the doubter. And there is the visionary. Managing your mind means deciding who gets the microphone. Most people hand the microphone to the critic first thing in the morning. The critic says, "You didn't sleep enough. You're already behind. Look at what you haven't done." And the victim grabs it next, "It's not fair. Why is it always so hard for me?" Then the doubter chimes in, "Even if you try, it won't work." And the visionary sits in the back of the room, silent. The visionary knows you can do it. The visionary sees the potential. But the visionary is polite. The visionary waits to be called upon. You must be the moderator. You must walk into the meeting room of your mind and take the microphone away from the critic. You must tell the victim to sit down and be quiet. You must tell the doubter, "Thank you for your concern, but we are moving forward." And then you must hand the microphone to the visionary. You must say, "Speak to me. Tell me what is possible. Tell me the plan." And you must listen. This is an active process. It does not happen by accident. If you do nothing, the loudest voices, the negative ones, will dominate the conversation. Fear is always louder than faith. You have to amplify the faith. So, how do you amplify the visionary? You use your words. Rule number 1 of mental management: you cannot think two thoughts at the same time. You cannot be grateful and fearful at the exact same moment. You cannot be angry and curious at the exact same moment. The mind can only hold one dominant thought. So, displacement is the key. You do not fight the darkness. You turn on the light. You do not fight the negative thought. You replace it with a positive one. When the thought comes, "I'm going to fail," you do not argue with it. You immediately switch to, what is the next step I need to take to succeed? You switch the channel. You change the question. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of your questions. An unmanaged mind asks, why me? A managed mind asks, what now? Why me keeps you in the past. It keeps you a victim. What now puts you in the present. It makes you an architect. Let's talk about the mental diet again. We touched on inputs earlier, but let's go deeper. Your mind is a factory. The ingredients you put in determine the product that comes out. If you dump gossip, violence, scandal, and negativity into the factory all day, and then you stand at the end of the assembly line waiting for happiness, success, and peace to come out, you are delusional. The factory cannot produce gold from garbage. You have to be ruthless about your inputs. This is not about hiding from the world. It is about protecting your machinery. If you want to produce wealth, input knowledge about wealth. If you want to produce love, input stories of love. If you want to produce leadership, input the biographies of great leaders. You have to curate your life. Unfollow the people who make you feel small. Turn off the notifications that interrupt your flow. Stop reading the comments that make you angry. Guard the door of your factory. You are the foreman. If a truckload of toxic waste pulls up, you do not open the gate. You send it away. Now, consider the concept of mental real estate. Your mind has limited space. Limited bandwidth. Who is living in your head rent-free? Is it your old boss who fired you 5 years ago? Is it the teacher who said you weren't smart? Is it the ex-partner who broke your heart? Why are you letting them live in your prime real estate? They are not paying rent. They are trashing the place. Evict them. How do you evict them? Forgiveness. Forgiveness is not saying what they did was okay. Forgiveness is saying, I am not going to let you occupy my mind anymore. I need this room for my dreams. I need this room for my plans. Get out. It is a selfish act, in the best possible way. You are reclaiming your property. When you clear out the ghosts of the past, you create a vacuum. And nature abhors a vacuum. Creativity will rush in to fill that space. Joy will rush in. Peace will rush in. But you have to clear the room first. Let's look at the connection between mind and body. You cannot manage your mind if you neglect your vehicle. The brain is a physical organ. It needs blood. It needs oxygen. It needs sleep. If you are exhausted, dehydrated, and sedentary, your mind will be foggy and negative. It is a biological fact. Willpower drops when blood sugar drops. Patience drops when sleep drops. So, part of managing your mind is managing your biology. Move your body. Movement changes your state. If you are stuck in a mental loop of worry, stand up. Go for a walk. Do 10 push-ups. Change your physiology, and you change your psychology. This is a quick hack for mental management. You do not always have to think your way out of a bad mood. Sometimes you have to move your way out of it. Now, I want to address the fear of the unknown. The unmanaged mind hates uncertainty. It craves security. It wants to know exactly what is going to happen. And since life is uncertain, the unmanaged mind is always anxious. The managed mind embraces uncertainty. Why? Because it trusts its own ability to handle whatever comes. It does not need to know the future. It knows itself. It says, I don't know what the market will do, but I know I will adapt. I don't know if this plan will work, but I know I will learn. I don't know if they will like me, but I know I like myself. Self-trust is the antidote to anxiety. And self-trust comes from the track record of managing yourself. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you build trust. Every time you regulate your emotion, you build trust. Every time you choose discipline over ease, you build trust. Eventually, you build a reputation with yourself. You know you are solid. And when you know you are solid, you stop fearing the shifting sands of the world. Let the world change. You remain. Finally, let's talk about legacy. Your mind does not just affect you. It affects everyone around you. Your children watch how you handle stress. Your teen watches how you handle failure. Your partner feels your energy every day. If your mind is chaotic, you export chaos to your family. If your mind is fearful, you teach fear to your children. But if your mind is managed, if you are calm, focused, and resilient, you become a lighthouse for others. You give them permission to be calm. You show them what strength looks like. The greatest gift you can give your family is not money. It is a healthy, managed mind. A parent who is present. A parent who is not reactive. A parent who listens. When you do this work, you are breaking generational cycles. You are stopping the transmission of trauma and fear. You are creating a new lineage of mental strength. That is a legacy worth fighting for. So, where do you begin? Right now. In this moment. Pause. Take a deep breath. Observe your thoughts. What is running through your head right now? Is it doubt? Is it hope? Is it distraction? Take the wheel. Decide what you want to think about for the next hour. Pick a goal. Pick a focus. If your mind wanders, gently bring it back. Like training a puppy. Do not hit the puppy. Just bring it back to the path. Over and over again. This is the practice. It is simple. But it changes everything. Your mind is the projector. Your life is the movie. If you don't like the movie, don't yell at the screen. Don't try to cut the screen. Go to the projector. Change the film. Change the thought. Change the belief. Change the focus. And the movie will change. The money will change. The relationships will change. The health will change. Manage your mind. It manages everything else. You are the CEO. You are the captain. You are the architect. Do not abdicate your power. Do not give it to the news. Do not give it to your neighbor. Do not give it to your past. Take it back. Today. Your life is waiting for you to lead it.